December, the season of lights. And we are celebrating wherever you are around the world, whatever holiday you celebrate, happy holidays to you and your family. In this episode, we will be dealing with how to cope with the holiday stresses. As we shared last week, that there are so many stressors right now. Some we are trying to add to the list of gifts we're supposed to purchase. We're thinking of so many different things. Others are dealing with people who are ill and the mountain of things that comes our way. But we are here this evening. We have two special guests who will be sharing their expertise and their personal life experiences, how they deal with the stresses, and I hope it will also help you to deal with the holiday stresses. Now, in life, there is not a one size fits all because we're all from different strata of society and we all go through different things. But there are some common threads, there are some common denominators, and there are some common things that can help us handle stress when we go through them, whatever the stresses are. So, my first guest will be Tessie Ramsay, and she is a licensed clinician. She will share with us from her personal experience and also from her experience as a clinician how to handle the stressors as they bear on us, because once we are alive, life happens, as the favorite cliche, but life really happens. Whether we are moving or we are stagnant, life still happens. So I will have Tessie Ramsay share with us a little bit about herself, and then I will ask her some questions. And if you're up there and there are specific questions, there are specific concerns you would like to be addressed, or if it can be answered on this forum, drop me your questions and I will see it in the YouTube chat so I can share with you, or my guest can give you the answer if she has it readily available. So I am excited to introduce to you my guest, Tessie Ramsay. Hello, Tessie.
Hello, Miriam. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. And I know a lot of my viewers may not know who you are. Just share a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, as you can see, my name is Tessie Ramsay. I'm a licensed professional counselor with the state of Connecticut. I live here in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and I service a wide cross section of individuals who are going through some kinds of life stressors, life trauma, anxiety, depression, the whole works. And I'm sure you have heard about mental health. I call it behavioral health because sometimes the word mental health has a stigma to it. So I say behavioral health. People are experiencing, current life stressors. I am there for you. And that's basically it about me. I've been doing this for over 10 years. I worked with a company, that same company that I did my internship with. I worked with that company, and after a while, I decided that I had to go out on my own. So that's me in a nutshell. I'm on my own, and I work from downtown Port, Connecticut.
Awesome, awesome. So with 10 years of 10 years of a wealth of information, a wealth of not only book but also personal experience dealing with her clients, she is here to share with us how we can balance the waves of holiday and still stay in equilibrium with everything that's going on. So my first question is, What are some of the common stressors that individuals experience during the holiday season, and how can they effectively cope with them?
Okay, Miriam. So while I was backstage and I heard you with the introduction, I said to myself, "Oh my goodness! I think she took some of my notes because I have been thinking about the whole topic when you gave it to me." So I started looking at things that are possible questions that you might ask me, and I've said, "Wow, she must have seen when I was writing those notes last night." But I know you weren't around. Anyway, so the holiday season can be very stressful for some individuals, as you know, they struggle through sometimes grief and loss. This is the time when you think most about the person that you love and you lost them. Some people are having they're going to have their first Christmas without either mother, their father, a loved one, uh, church sister or brother who's dear to you. It's going to be a first for a lot of people. So during the holiday season, they struggle with this grief and loss because you reflect on the times you spent, even say last Christmas, the time you spent together. They were there, and that spot is going to be missing at the table. So that's one of the things, that's I think that's one of the main things that people struggle with. And there's also time management, because we want to go out and buy the gifts and we want to be there for our family, but sometimes we're not able to manage our time effectively, and so it can become very overwhelming and stressful for us as individuals. And we think about the traveling. Some of us, we travel out of state, or some people fly to another country to be with their family for the Christmas season. And those are things that you have to bear in mind, and it becomes stressful as the time draws near if you have not planned well and you haven't had, everything done the way you ought to. The last minute crunch time, it's not going to work because it's going to bring on a lot of stress. And trying to please everyone. What do I give this one? What do I give that one? Last year I gave this. What did you're thinking, you're trying to remember, did I give her a perfume last year? I don't want to give her the same thing this year. Or did I give her a pair of socks? Or something, so you struggle with that. So it becomes stressful trying to balance your thoughts and to function effectively as, taking care of your family. Also, there are family conflicts that some people will go through, because during this time, holiday season, for some reason, families always, for the most part, they have butt ends, as it were, because you're not seeing eye to eye with what the other person is doing. So those things can be very stressful. All right. And the second part of the question that Miriam asked me, how do you effectively cope with the stressors? For one, you must be proactive. You must think ahead. Don't wait until the last minute. Okay, Christmas is gonna be the 25th of December, and you're gonna maybe be at a family gathering. You don't wait until the 22nd or the 23rd to rush into the store to do your shopping. Be proactive. Think ahead of time. You know that God's willing, you're gonna be around. So guess what? Buy the gift and put it away before the Christmas season, because you're gonna find it's gonna be much cheaper because you're buying it when it's not yet that particular season. So be proactive, plan ahead, create a things to do list. Don't rely on your memory. As for me, I'm not going to rely on my memory. Create a things to do list, and you do your check off as you go along. So that's going to help to decompress you and keep you calm as possible, and maintain good habits during this time. Go to your bed, get your rest, eat well. Don't run around with a cup of coffee like I do sometimes. Drinking a cup of coffee and just go through the day, and later on you're like, oh, I'm so tired, I'm so stressed, I didn't get to eat, I'm too tired to eat. So you become, your body, you're not taking care of your body. And when you're not well, that's one of the grounds for you to just lose it, because you're not feeling well. A family member says something to you at the gathering, and you knew all that you went through to get here, you go off. So plan ahead, maintain good habits, sleep well, have a good diet, take breaks in between your tasks. Whatever you're doing, take breaks. Don't just keep going like an energizer bunny, as I would say. take breaks because you need that. That helps.
Awesome. So, from the first question, I hear be proactive,
Mhm.
create a list. And in creating a list, you be proactive, stay calm, rest, take breaks between what we have scheduled. That's a wealth of information already. And when I look at this, if we actually carry this over in every aspect of our life will be much more less stress, I should say.
Yeah.
Thank you. My next question is how can individuals manage expectations and set realistic boundaries during the holidays to reduce stress and maintain their well being?
Okay. I'm sure everyone in this audience, or wherever you are, you're listening, you have heard this terminology. Do not bite off more than you can chew. And that is true. Well, if you have never heard it, you're hearing it here for the first time. In other words, what it means simply is do not take on more than you can manage or handle. Pace yourself in between tasks. And don't be afraid to ask for help. If help is there, don't take it all on. Ask for help. Can you help me, please? I need help with this particular task, right? And most importantly, don't be afraid to say no. Some of us are afraid to say no when it comes on to a question being asked, can you do this? Because you don't want it to look bad or you don't want to be thought about as being the bad person, then you say yes to everything and you take on everything and it becomes overwhelming. And then right away, all your boundaries just went through the door. You no longer have that boundary. There's no longer control because the outside forces are controlling you and you're, as it were, your head is spinning, you're all over the place. Yeah.
I almost lost
Yes.
control just now because my phone was falling and I'm trying to make sure I'm paying
Yes.
attention to you.
Right.
So all
Right.
of these little things, these are little things that will make us lose control. I'm just setting it back in place.
Yes.
Okay, let me ask the other question and then I fix my little gadget. Are there specific coping strategies or techniques that you recommend for dealing with family dynamics and conflicts that may arise during the holiday season?
First of all, I will say to families who are listening or viewing at this time, limit your alcoholic intake. That's not for us. Limit your alcoholic intake because what that does, it totally throws you off. You're no longer able to function effectively. Okay, avoid conflicting topics. You know, sometimes you go to gathering and there are some topics that you should. It's like leave it alone. You don't have to talk about it during the holiday season because somehow tempers are going to flare because I'm not no longer seeing eye to eye with you, or I don't want to agree with your point of view, and then that happens. So avoid that at all costs, right? And be respectful of other people's opinion. Someone has an opinion, you might not agree with it, but be respectful. Be respectful. Gently say, you know what, I hear you. I hear your point of view, and really agree with you, but don't be like rude because that's like a ground for a lot of conflict and anger and sometimes fights, right? So in other words, we agree to disagree and adjust our attitudes, right? And avoid competitive attitudes because sometimes when we are at family gathering, like everyone is competing with the other. We haven't seen each other for a while, maybe for a year. And what are you doing now when everybody wants to get their little thing in? Avoid that. It's a time to just have fun. Relax. Forget about the letters behind your name and everything. Just be you. That's it.
Just be you and enjoy the view.
Joy.
Be
Yes.
you and enjoy the view. That is so wonderful. As you are talking about stay clear of conflicting arguments. We can disagree, but we don't need to be disagreeable. And as we are, we need to try to be the more experienced person or the more mature person. If a conversation begins and we realize it's not going somewhere, it's not going the way that would keep the equilibrium or keep the balance,
Mhm.
we should say, let's change the
Let's
topic.
change this. Yes.
Awesome,
Let's talk
awesome.
about something else.
How can individuals prioritize self care and maintain their mental health during the busy season?
Okay, self care is a biggie because a lot of us, we do not take time to take care of ourselves. We are busy taking care of others, and we are busy giving others advice, but ourselves, no, we don't take care of ourselves. And self-care is not, you don't have, it doesn't have to be expensive. You don't have to go to the spa. You can do your own spa at home. Make your own spa at home. Get in your bath,
Hmm.
get your bath oils, your bath salt, whatever, put it in, put on your little music, relax. You don't drink alcohol because I don't drink alcohol. Have your little bottle or glass of water because I love water. I'm a water person. And just drink and relax and listen. You put on some nice music and you listen and you relax. That is self care. Self care is taking the time out to go get your nails done, get your feet done, get your toes done. Take care of yourself, take care of your outward self. Because remember, we're taking care of the inner man, right? Am I speaking? Yeah,
Yeah,
we're taking
keep
care of the inner
proceeding.
man. So we need to take care of the outer man. We need to look good. And this is so very important because a lot of times as individuals we focus on other things, and instead of taking a shower, keep taking a shower, take a bath. A bath is more relaxing because you go in the shower and you just do your thing and come out. But with the bath, it takes time to set up the bath and you're just relaxing, and it puts you in that mood. That is self-care. And allow yourself time to reflect on life and the things that matters most, and just be aware, just be mindful of the things that trigger you and avoid them at all cost, because there are some things and some places and some people who trigger you when they're around. For somehow there has to be an argument. Whatever you can do, avoid. That's a part of self-care. You're taking care of yourself, your mental health, and yourself emotionally and physically, and remove yourself from any toxicity. Just remove yourself. You can do it. Excuse yourself. I've got to go, and just go. That's self care, because what you're doing, you're taking care of your mental health, because you don't want this particular thing to affect you because you know it's a trigger. Yeah.
Okay, but what if they're telling me that why are you running away? Do I need to explain why I'm getting away? Just delve a little deeper in that for me, because that's a little triggering
Hmm.
there.
Hmm.
This I may be in an environment or around
Hmm.
some people and excuse me. So if they ask why, just give me delve a little deeper, and even for the person who is running away or the person that is there,
Hmm.
give me a little more.
Just respectfully listen. I have to leave at this time because based on this conversation, it's not beneficial to me. So I have to leave. Okay. And not that I am saying to you, you have to stop your conversation, but I won't be a part of it because it's not in any way, shape, or form beneficial to me. So I must leave respectfully. I'm not going to yell or anything, just nice and calm. Gotta go. Yeah.
Now my next question leading up to this, what if it is someone that I'm caring for
Mm-hmm.
And these conversation keeps coming up. How do I handle that? Because I have to take I get to take care of that person, and I can't run away as if in other cases I can just leave, take myself away. How do I handle that
I
and
s-
still keep my mental, you know, acuity?
okay. In caring for someone, anybody, whatever, whoever it is, you're entitled to breaks. So I said, I have to take my 15 right now. I gotta go and take my 15. That's my style. I have to take my, if the conversation is not going the way I want it to go, I said, listen, excuse me, I'm gonna go take my 15. I take my break and then I come back to address whatever you're going on with, or whatever you're trying to use to get me in a different mode. I'll have to take my break, and I will say to you very nicely, like, I'm not gonna go down that slippery slope with you if you continue like this. So excuse me, please. I'll be back. When you're in a better mood, I'll come back. And then I'll come back and said, are you okay now? Can we start all over again? That's it.
Just asking one more question to this because it strikes a chord. One of my one of my friends,
Uh-huh.
she's dealing with a situation where she gets in conflict whenever she has to deal with her sister, because she's her sister's caregiver.
Mm-hmm.
And are there anything mental or something you could actually share to say when you walk away from them? What do you do? Count to 10? What sort of mechanism they can build to actually pull themselves away from the argument or the conversation and still go back and give the care that the person so need?
Okay. You when you walk away from that person, um, you're basically doing what we call in my field, you're stopping. You're making a stop. Okay? So you stop, you think, huh? You think you basically like, okay, this thing just happened. What is this all about? So you stop, you think about it, because sometimes when just back up a little bit, sometimes some things, it's just not worth it, the energy and everything, it's not worth it. Most times it's not worth it, and the things that you spend time obsessing about, it's not even necessary. It wasn't, because after a while you're like, wait a minute, it wasn't necessary. So you stop and you think and you observe. Yeah.
Stop, think, and observe.
Observe. And then you proceed. In other words, you make a decision as to how am I going to take this? Where do I go? Because someone could be going on and they'll be talking, 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 and you just stop. Just stop. You're right there in their presence physically, but you're not there. You detach yourself emotionally, because what they're saying or what they're doing, it will affect you and cause, it will have a ripple effect and cause you sometimes to go out of character. You don't want to, so you just basically just stop and just listen respectfully. And when they're done, you say, okay, are you finished? Right? So I saw someone put in the chat, be quick to listen and slow to speak. Yes. And I have this thing in my office. I don't know if you can see it. It says, less is more. I keep it on my desk.
Yes.
Less is more. Less is more. That's all it says. Less is more. And I keep it here for everyone to see. In other words, you don't have to say anything sometimes. Just listen.
Less is
And the
more.
less is more. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Awesome. So stop, either move away or stop. You still
Mm-hmm.
remain there, but you detach yourself from the conversation or the
Conversation.
conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What are some practical tips for managing financial stress during the holidays, especially when it comes to budgeting and gift giving? I know sometimes you may share with
Clients.
your clients, because they may say, "Oh, I have to, and I have to, and I have to."
Yes, 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 yeah, yes. Yeah, that's a good question because, like you said, and we all say that I have to do this, I have to do that. No, we don't have to do nothing. So, what I would say to if I'm speaking to my client right now, and I can get in that mode now, put on the hat, right? First of all, you decide on your spending limit. How much is it that I'm going to spend? Decide on your spending limit, right? You know all the people that you plan to give a gift to during the holidays. You have it written down. You decide, you determine, say, okay, this one's gift is gonna cost $15. This one's gift is gonna cost $20, or maybe $15 down the line, whichever you prefer. Or maybe there's one who is more your kind of like a favorite kind of. So I said, okay, her gift will cost $25. And you put that down and you total it and say, okay, so that's what I'm going to be spending. So once you decide on determine that, you have your list which you have created with the names already,
Mm-hmm.
right? Let it be a realistic list though, because we know the price of everything. Things have gone up, so we can't say, oh, $10 when $10 might not, anything that looks good. But just be mindful, right? And once you create that budget that said, I will only spend this amount on gifts, don't break it. Stick to it.
Stick to the
this
budget.
this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be sticking to my budget, right? So you assign each person this one $10 for this one, give $15 for this one, give $12 for this one, give or take, because sometimes it might run a little bit, but on or around that amount. Have whatever you have in mind. I'm only spending this amount. I'm not spending a dollar or a dime more than this, right? And avoid the temptation of purchasing items that are outside of your budget. Huh? To avoid that because sometimes that's a tricky one. You know that this was not in your budget, but I have to get it. No, you don't have to. You really don't have to. And again, like I said earlier on, if we start to shop from, early on, like, someone would say, like, during the year, you just start buying your little things and put it away. And, oh, they have a sale at Old Navy. And I know that Miriam loves this particular sweater. I saw her looking at it. Oh, but it's on sale now for that. And grab it, buy it. It's not going to get spoiled or it's not going to get small because Miriam is Miriam. Right? And you put it and say, yes, I know it will fit her, right? And you have a little niece or nephew, buy a little size up, one size up because you know that by the time he or she gets it, he's growing. So let me buy the size up. Catch the sale, catch the clearance, catch it, and buy the gifts and start putting them away a little at a time. So in that way, you will stay within the budget that you have created, and you will not come January morning with your hand on the head and say, the rent has not been paid, the mortgage has not been paid, the light is about to be cut off because I had to buy a gift for 20 people. They didn't ask you to buy the gifts for them. You should bear in mind that I have all my normal responses, regular, everyday responsibility. So I cannot go outside my budget. Stay within our budget. That's it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Stay within the budget.
Yeah.
A question is asked. Please explain selfless versus selfish.
Okay. So a selfless person is someone who puts other people before them. That person is always thinking about others and they will go above and beyond the call of duty to be of service to that person or persons. Now, selfish people are people who think about me, myself, and I. It's all about me. I think about me all the time. I am not really, when something is happening to someone and I can't even find the heart to be there for them, to support them. I cannot be even thinking about them like, yeah, I know her mom died. Yeah, I understand. Mine died too. You just, it's all about you. And you bring that conversation back to yourself. You're in a group and everybody's sharing. And suddenly all eyes are on you because somehow you managed to bring that conversation to you. You are so selfish. It's all about you. So self-centered. Want it to be about you. The selfless person, they give without even thinking. They're very kind, compassionate, and all those good traits they have.
In other words, you're a selfless person You take care of you because, as the Bible said,
Love. Yes.
love others in the same degree you
Love
love
yourself.
yourself. So
Yes.
once I love myself and I take care of me,
Hmm.
I will in so doing take care of others because I that's how I'm selfless. So,
Absolutely.
and a selfish person do not care about anything. And I think a selfish person do not love themselves. That's my thinking. I
That's the
I haven't
thought.
seen it in a book or anything, but
That's the thought. Yeah.
I stand corrected if that's not so. Um, and one viewer said, it's not selfish to love yourself.
Oh
Take
no.
care of yourself and make your happiness a priority. It is
Yeah.
a necessity. That
Yeah.
is
That's why we
true.
talk. Yeah. That's why we talk about the self care. We want to take
Yes.
care of ourselves. Yes. Absolutely.
And it isn't taking care of oneself. We are in a better state of mind to care for others
There's absolutely. Yes.
because the stressors will be reduced, and so we will be able to look at others because
Mhm.
our stress level have diminished, and we can be in a better state to love on someone, to take care of someone, or to help someone in
Absolutely.
need.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome.
Yes.
Any final words do you have for my viewers? It was really uh, thought provoking, and my thing is falling.
Okay.
Life happens while we are taking care of things, and helpful in this holiday season, as some of us have lost loved ones. Some of us has lost a father, a mother,
Yeah.
a husband, a wife, a child, a friend, a dear friend, because sometimes we have friends that we have lost that is even closer than some of our
Yes.
family or
Yeah.
blood family.
Mhm.
And this is somewhat to help us navigate through this holiday season and still be balanced. Although we are grieving, we will still have happiness because we are able to align things, balance things, put things in perspective, and enjoy our holiday.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Yes.
Tensi.
You are most welcome. Thank you. Yes. Thank you for having me. And thank
One
you.
final statement.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. And as you go through this season, just remember, bear in mind, you might not be able to give a gift to someone, right? You might not be able to, maybe you don't have me on your gift list, but that's okay. As long as you love me and pray for me, that's all I'm asking from you. Just pray for me and love me, and I'll do the same. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you
I
for
love you,
having me,
sis.
Miriam. Thank you so much. I
Thank
appreciate it.
you so much.
Yes. Bye.
My next guest will be sharing with us from her personal experience and also from her experience that she has worked, how to balance the holidays and cope with finances. And Cheryl Powell will be coming to us right now.
Is there something for me to do?
Yes, you turn your cameras on. We want to see your beautiful
I think
face.
it's on. Um, oh shoot, what am I not doing? Hold on. Let me ask Shanice. Shanice, huh?
We want to see her beautiful
I was
face,
just,
her
it wasn't
beautiful
the
face.
cameras on. I thought it was on. I thought it was.
She will be right back. She is trying to see life happens. Even when we set up things, life still happens. So just bear with us as we navigate through the little, challenges
Shoot, I
of
forget.
technology. Hi, Slitsy. We wanted to see your
I'm
beautiful
so
face.
sorry. I got
That's okay.
I got stage fright.
That's okay. That's all in the game. That's life. If we were perfect, it would not be life. Life has everything compiled in it. And it so ties into our topic that we're dealing with,
And
how
the
to cope
stressor.
with holiday stresses. Isn't that so?
And I
I'm
was
so
so
excited.
enjoying the session too. I got so lost in it. I really appreciate Tensy and her lively discussion and the persons who are there, the other participants who are, actively making their comments and so on. I really enjoyed it.
Wonderful. Actually, you can find Tennessee in Connecticut at Care Wings Counseling LLC.
Okay.
Care Wings Counseling LLC.
I will make a note of that.
Okay. And Cheryl Powell, it is a pleasure having you with us on this platform today.
Thank you.
Mindset Monday, MC Legacy. Have known you for quite a bit, and my niece daughter had you're basically her second mom. She has told me so much about you, and I am now here getting a little bit of both worlds, the beautiful you and the experienced you.
Uh,
So I'm looking forward to what you have to offer. So just give me a share with our audience a little bit about
yeah.
yourself.
Okay, well, I'm Cheryl Powell, as you see there. Um, I'm first of all, I make a living by consulting in the financial industry for the most part. And then, but for me, Cheryl in the main, I see myself as a housewife or a homemaker, I'd rather say, and a mother. And I'm the person who handles the finances in the family. My husband gives me that. He relinquishes that to me. So yeah, I'm here to just share my just be tell you about me, how I cope. you know how I cope,
Awesome, awesome.
in this time.
Now, my first question, how do you, what you are at this state where you are now, how did you get here? Putting everything in perspective, how did you get here? Cheryl, sitting here with all of what went on over the years, dealing with young kids, now they're grown. How did you get here?
Wow. It's so much. You narrow it down some more. You mean how did I get to Connecticut?
Now, how did you get to
Where
where
am
you
I?
are in terms, yes, in terms of balancing things and
I
not
get you.
pulling up your hair and
I get you. I get you. Now, yes. I'm here today through the experiences. Some of us, life experiences. It teaches, experience teaches wisdom. My mother usually say, and I am evidence of that, and I am always willing to share my experiences because they are what informs how others benefit, how we live and how we live too. I always try to make get lessons out of whatever happens to me in life, and you call them life lessons. I do not take them lightly. And so I always am willing to share with others because I feel someone else can benefit from my experience, you know? So that's why I'm here, why I'm who I am because of the experiences I've had.
awesome. How can individuals effectively manage their finances and plan for taxes while also dealing with the added stressors of the holidays? Because I know your husband relinquished the financial aspect of the
Yeah,
homemaking
yeah,
to you, and
right.
you're also in the financial industry as working in the financial industry.
Yeah.
How can individuals effectively manage?
Well, The first thing, as I thought about this question, the first thing that came to me when I think of because I'll be sharing with you how I cope, you know,
Yes.
is that every time I'm faced with a situation, I'm faced with a challenge, or if something is gonna, really challenge me or find that I'm going out of equilibrium, I always try to establish why I do what I do. What is causing me to feel this way? Why is this important to me? Why do I need it? And so it's the same thing with managing the stress of, because we all stress. I stress about it too. I stress about it comes to you, but how do you manage it? And so I could tell you this from a story. I'm going to share with you how I dealt with being in a time like this, not working. And that perhaps will answer the question. So I was out of work. I've always worked, but I was out of work for 10 months. And within those 10 months, it included the holiday season. Now I'm always used to doing my shopping for lots of food, everybody getting their gifts, all of that niceness, getting on in the excitement. And this year in particular, I found that I could not actually do that if I were to survive getting into January, having taxes to pay, and all the other bills that go with it. Because thankfully, I was able to manage within those months, although I wasn't working. And so I had to reset. I had to get out of thinking what I used to do and say, focus now. What are the holidays about? I literally sat down and I said, what are the holidays about? What's, you know? And when I thought about it, and I said, the holidays are really about the advent for me personally. So I'm giving you my experience. It may be something else for you, but I'm saying put in focus your why. And when I establish my why, that it's really the advent, remembering that Christ is coming again. And the whole reason for the season, I really put it in perspective. I started I looked on my holiday list and I said, I don't have the money this time. Say for instance, I used to spend $100. I can only spend 10, right? And I started cutting off the ones that I didn't have to pay to do. I said, no, I can't give to John this time. I can't give to X. I can't give to Y. It's $10. I'm gonna use it, and so be it. And you know what else I did? I did not go on the I was very deliberate, intentional of not going to the plaza, because you have to avoid the temptation.
Ah.
One of my defense mechanisms, other people have different defense mechanisms. One of mine is avoidance. If you know this thing is going to cause you to do X and you don't want to do X, don't do it. I have that built-in thing, that's my defense mechanism. And so I said, I will not go on the plaza, because if I go there, I'm going to feel as if I should, and I'm going to feel, as if, boy, I'm losing out on something. So let me stay home. And when I stayed home, I didn't stay home and get depressed either. What I did, I went through, the Christmas trees always there.
Mm-hmm.
Decorations are there. I didn't have to buy new ones. We fix up the tree as usual. And right. And thank God we live in America and we still have a little. Some people may not have, so I'm not saying, you will always have. But I was still able to, we can buy food. And
Mm-hmm.
so, you get yourself busy with the things you have. What's in your hand? Use what's in your hand and don't necessarily look outside. Because when you start looking outside, that's when you get into trouble. So the thing I'm saying, keep your focus, because guess what? It's two things. I said it the first, that I like to establish your why. Why is it important that I behave this way or not this way? And when you establish how you behave, then that's fine. And the one other thing too is to remember, how do you want to feel? I don't like to feel rushed. I don't like to feel pressure. So I don't want to know that Uncle Sam, I'm not going to have Uncle Sam money next year. You
Mm-hmm.
So, because I know I don't want to get into that space, I avoid. Again, that's my defense mechanism. Perhaps you need to establish your defense mechanism, because
Yes.
I realize that most of the times when I make decisions, it comes right back to the things that I have already established, how I want to feel, or why I'm doing what I'm doing, why I'm doing what I'm doing. So that's what helps me to cope. I don't tell you that I accomplish it all the time,
Right.
but I don't stay in that negative space or the place I don't want to be. I get caught before it gets bad, because I have a measuring stick. I have a foundation. I don't know if that answers your question.
No, it sure does, because what I'm sure my viewers, they're enjoying it, and it will help. It is also helping because, as you say, establish the why, the purpose. Because once we know the purpose of the holiday, if we don't have the financial capability, we will still be able to enjoy ourselves. Now, I know for a lot of times we go out of our way to buy gifts for others. And one, they didn't ask us for it. Two, they don't know where we get the money from. But because we always give gifts, they are expecting to. And as you said, you weren't working for a while. This is my addition. For some of us who are not working or who are not in the position, you may still be working and are not in the position to give the gifts to the persons that you love this year. Maybe we should say to them, Cheryl, I know I always give you a gift, but this year I am
Not
unable to. I'm not going to use the word broke. I am unable to give you a
agree.
gift, a tangible, let me
Mhm.
say, a tangible gift, because gifts can be intangible. As a call or a talk or some nice conversation, that's a gift to or even share some of the things that, Cheryl, you have been such a this person. You have been such a wonderful person. And I have not told you this all these years, but I'm just letting you know that I really appreciate your friendship. If it's a sister, I really appreciate you as my
Very good
sister
point.
and the friendship that we have. And although I'm not able to give you something tangible this year, I just want to let you know that I really do appreciate you.
That's such
So
a solid point. Yeah.
So giving tangible gifts, yes, it's good. And this from your heart may be much more appreciative of the person who is giving it and on the receiving end than you wrapping something and taking it to them. Again, the studies show that 80% of gifts that's given and received is either taken back to the store or re-gifted because it was not in need.
Can I say something
Sure.
to that? That year too, I realized, yes, the holiday came and it went. One day, Christmas Day came and it went. And I'm saying, oh my God, I am out of this saying, not spending what I don't have, and I feel great. And nobody is the worse off for it. Because you're so right when you say that a lot of times the gifts are not, appreciate it. They take them back to the store, or they re-gift them to somebody else. And you think about it and you said, boy, it's really not so necessary, because the issue I have too is that I do not like to buy stuff for buying sake, just to say I'm buying something. I like to know that the person really needs this, or would appreciate it. So if we think about those little things, it will put things into perspective for us. One, while you were talking, a thought came to me, which I also did, was to write a nice little handwritten note in a card, or what, and you can put that in a gift box too. And you can explain, don't have the gift this year, but I just want to tell you. I think
Oh,
that is such a
wow.
precious thing. Nicely wrap it up and, put it on the tree, and who wouldn't appreciate that, really from the heart.
I would smile if I get that. Just
Yes,
the box with that lovely handwritten note. I
yes,
would be ecstatic.
yes, yes, yes.
I'm just gonna read a few of the comments from the viewers. They are really enjoying both both of you, my guest. One of them said, "Yes, all of what we're doing sometimes are distractions." Anne Marie Waller. She said, "You're speaking the truth." Fatima said, "Be you and enjoy the view." Um,
She liked that term.
yes,
That
yes.
little thing.
Be you and enjoy the view. My viewers, Dr. Patience, Lily Lane, Hazel Shakespeare, Olive Thompson, Pratima Bailey, Matt Nairns, Anne Marie Waller, Daphne Drummond, and the list goes on. They are enjoying what is being said, and it's very valuable information that you are sharing, and it is helping myself and the viewers out there. Alice says, "Hello, looking forward to the discussion, and I know she's enjoying what is going on so far."
Mhm.
One other question that I have for you: are there any common misconceptions or myth about tax planning that you often come across in your practice? And how can individuals be better educated? Because I know you're in the financial industry, and from your personal point of view, I know there are many persons who wait until the last minute. They do not prepare. Their things are all over the place, and they also will say, "Okay, I'm going to get a refund even though they did not pay taxes." Because some of us, although we are working, we're a W 2 employee, depends on how we set up our W 4 or exemptions. We see everything coming to us. We look at our pay stub and we see, okay, my pay is 2,000 a week, and I 2,000 a week, and I get 1,900. What that means, I did not pay enough taxes. So
Okay.
what
Let
are
me
some of the misconceptions and in your point of view
I'm sorry, Miriam, I cannot speak well of the
from
myth,
your personal perspective?
but from my personal perspective, what I personally do, I rather have the taxman give me back money. So I've worked W-2 and I've worked 1099 because I work as a consultant. And so what I do, just to ensure that I establish that threshold, and I prefer to have it gives me an automatic, I may get an automatic saving. I right off the bat, when I do my other obligations, my first obligation is to my God. I take out his. The next thing I do is take out Mr. IRS, 30%. Boom. The rest, that's my pay. I'm just sharing with you what I do.
Very good. Very good.
And that
Very
may
good.
help somebody, right?
Certainly will.
Yes. And when I do W-2, I do it at the highest, or I don't minimum, the highest, where they take out the maximum.
So the maximum is for uh, for listeners who are viewing, who don't understand what we're saying.
Mhm.
When she sets up her W 4, she makes sure that she although she's married, she would put single zero. So the
Yes.
maximum taxes is deducted.
Yeah.
Now, understanding your tax situation will help you as the year goes by, how why you received that refund and why you didn't receive that refund. So for 1099 self-employed people, if this is your first year, you may get a little shocker if your tax person did not explain to you that you're getting all of your monies upfront. So you would need to pay Uncle Sam that lump sum when you file your taxes. Now, next year, make sure you remember this to speak to your tax professional. Find out, how can I pay estimate payments, because there are four that you pay per quarter. How can I set up estimate payments now that I don't have the money to pay Uncle Sam lump sum? And if you don't have the money by April 15th, whatever time you paid, interest will be accrued. So speak to your tax professional, ask them, how can I set up install estimate payments so that I reduce my tax liability at the end of the year. That's one tax tip. So throughout this month, you'll be getting little tax tips to help you prepare. So
Yeah.
you won't get that shocker.
I don't like shocks. So I make sure I put his aside. I put it in
Awesome.
an account that I don't have to touch. Yeah.
Awesome. 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 One other point, Daphne Drummond said, be you and enjoy the view. Love that. Pertima said, pity I did not get the link on time to share to many. So she's enjoying. But
We can
with
share.
this that we're doing, you can actually go ahead and view it. Even if you're not in the live, you can still send it to your friends and family because they can actually view it afterwards. Okay, in a nutshell, can you just give me a summary of just how to help our viewers, our listeners, wrapping up your conversation with us?
Yes. As I said, as for finances, as for holiday stressors, whatever you're faced with in life, get perspective on it. Know your why. Why am I in this position and why is it going to matter to me? What do I want to achieve from this? Always reset. I like when Tennessee was talking and wrote down reset. It's always good to reset. Just don't keep going down, going. You find yourself just slipping. No, stop and reset. Establish your whys, and your whys will always dictate how you how you action, how you function, how you manage. I have also established also how you want to live, how you want to feel, how you want to live in this world, what you want to portray. And my thing is, I've always said, I want to be happy all the time. I know you can't be happy. It's not a joy. It's not a laughy happy, but having joy, having peace all the
Mm-hmm.
time. I like to be at
Mm-hmm.
peace. And because of that, the things I have around me or I engage in or indulge in must bring that to me. So if we establish boundaries, if we establish benchmarks, I believe that will help us to live a more balanced life and not get ourselves all stressed or out of whack. We'll tend to go there, but when we find ourselves going there, we'll remember what it is we stand for, and we'll go for it. Move towards
Awesome. Awesome.
it.
Set up benchmarks, set boundaries, know your why,
Yeah,
live with purpose.
live with
And
purpose.
that will help us throughout this
Definitely.
holiday and
Yep.
beyond.
Mm-hmm.
And the sentiments that is shared with between both of you, my guest, is just complementary. Setting boundaries, stay within your means, Stop when things seem out of sort,
And reset.
that you can get back in alignment, get back in equilibrium, and we will be able to serve ourselves and serve others from a better place. Our mindset has to be right, because think about having an earache. We feel off balance. So if our mind is right, we will be balanced and we'll be able to take care of things.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. Thank
Thank
you
you so
for
much
your
for having
experience.
me.
It's my pleasure.
I enjoyed it. I really did.
My pleasure. Thank you, viewers. It's a pleasure having you. Please subscribe and make sure you turn on the notification bell so you'll get the next the next filming. The next time you will see us and you will be able to gain get information and enjoy the holidays as we take care of the stressors. Have a wonderful week, and thank you for joining another episode of Mindset Monday.
Mindset Monday.